There are so many different deals going on right now with points on sale, but not every deal is a good deal. So here's how you can know which deals to actually jump on before they expire. And in case we haven't met, hello, my name is Julia and I am the founder of GeoBreeze Travel. I personally got about $100,000 worth of travel last year for about 90% off by using points and miles. And we typically save our clients more than $30,000 in travel in the first 6 months of working with our team. And we want to provide you with a clear path to luxury travel with these free step-by-step tutorials too. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
The first points deal that we're going to discuss is with United, where until September 20th, if you buy at least 40,000 points, you're going to get a 100% bonus. So it's kind of like buying them for half price if you buy at least 40,000. Now, before you buy these points or any other points, I don't recommend buying them speculatively. There are 2 rules to this. Rule number 1, only buy points if you actually find the availability that you're looking for with that airline, which we'll go over in just a minute. And also, only buy the points if the purchase price of the points is less than the price to actually just purchase the flights. Because like this, if we're looking at a flight that costs 80,000 points, it's going to cost about $1,500. If the flight is going to cost you $2,500 otherwise, then this is a good deal. If the flight is only $1,000 otherwise, then just buy the flight. Don't bother with the points. So to make this a little bit more concrete, let's go through a couple of examples. Let's say that you go to united.com and you want to fly from San Francisco over to Zurich. I would do this search one way, checkbox book with miles, and checkbox flexible dates. Let's say that you want to go in February for ski season. I'm just going to do a search for one adult right now and then select business class, then click find flights. United makes it pretty easy to see all the best flight dates. So in February, there's more dates that are good than bad, actually. You see all of these different dates that are highlighted where you can fly from San Francisco to Zurich in business class for 80,000 points plus $5.60. But there are a few dates where it's 200,000 points. So let's go over the bad example first. Let's say that you had to fly on the 14th or the 15th of February, there's no flexibility, and you don't currently have any United miles, so you might want to buy them. Here's a flight from San Francisco through Washington, D.C. over to Zurich. It's 200,000 points. And then also, this is operated by United on the first leg and United Polaris in the second leg as well. If you wanted to book this with points and you're going to spend 200,000 points on it, the cost to buy 200,000 points is going to be $3,762 for one person, one way. But if we search for this flight from San Francisco over to Zurich on Google Flights on February 15, and we say, okay, how much does it just cost to purchase this flight, which is on United from 7 a.m., landing at 7:40 a.m. the next day. It is a pretty expensive flight. We're at $6,177, but I think this is overpriced either way. Technically, from these 2 rules that I just said, yeah, it's cheaper to just buy points for $3,700 if you had no other options and you really wanted to fly this in United, but I still think this is too much. For 200,000 miles, you are flying for 5 hours in this regional business class, then 8 hours in the good business class. I wouldn't even consider this regional first class. I would just say, okay, you get 8 hours in United Polaris. I would be willing to pay up to 80,000 points for that. If you really wanted to count the 5 hours that you get in domestic first class, then that's 13 hours total. With my 10K rule, I would pay maybe 130,000, but probably not just 80,000 for this. So would not want to do this particular deal for 200,000 miles. Let's select one of the other dates where it's only 80,000 points. So on February 9, if we sort by business class lowest, then we see this option from San Francisco through IAD into Zurich for 80,000 points. It does say mixed cabin, however, so always be a little bit wary of that. The San Francisco to IAD leg is in economy, but the IAD to Zurich leg is in business. So if you're like, I'm okay with that, the long leg over the ocean is in business class anyway, this would be fine. If you're like, no, I need the entire thing to be in business class, you're probably going to end up paying a little bit more since all of these look like they are in mixed cabin. Actually, here's one from San Francisco through Frankfurt over to Zurich, and it's in business class for both legs, and it's only 80,000 points, and I have a little bit of a discount because I have the United Explorer card, but otherwise it would be 88,000 points. So let's say you don't have the United Explorer card and you're going to be paying 88,000. If you needed to purchase those points, you can purchase 88,000 points for about $1,650. If you were to just buy that flight outright from San Francisco over to Zurich on February 9 with Star Alliance, and if we want to find this exact flight, it leaves San Francisco at 2:40, goes through Frankfurt, and lands in Zurich at 9:50 p.m. And it's operated by Lufthansa and Swiss. Then it would be a $6,000 flight as well. So instead of paying $6,200, I would instead recommend purchasing these points for $1,600 and then booking it through United that way. And so that saves you like 75% off of the cash price of this ticket if you're just booking it with points that way.
Are you enjoying these types of videos? If yes, please let me know. Click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for even more points and miles tips every week. And if you have a specific destination that you would like to visit, you can request a free personalized tutorial by going to geobreezetravel.com/request. These tutorials are specific to your exact airports, dates, destinations, and number of people traveling. We produce one free tutorial every week through the GeoBreeze Travel newsletter, which is also free. One of the easiest programs to navigate for beginners is Southwest Airlines, and they currently have points on sale too. But is it actually a good deal? Here's the math.
The next deal that we're going to talk about is Southwest, where they have a 50% bonus on points, and this offer is good until September 25th. So let's say that we wanted to fly from Las Vegas over to Nashville next month in October. I'm just going to price this out at one way with dollars or points, and then click search. And actually, I like that Southwest has this low fare calendar, which shows us the cheapest day to fly, so let's say that we were flexible about when we go. And so in October, it looks like the cheapest dates to fly would be the 29th or 30th, where it's only 7,211 points with Southwest, plus $5.60. So let's see what those flight times look like. If we're good with the 7 a.m. flight, that would cost 7,700 points with Southwest. And the thing with Southwest is there's not really ever a good deal or a bad deal. It's just going to be a set ratio between dollars and points. Like here, it's either going to be 7,712 points or it's going to be $115. So with Southwest, it's always going to be about 1.5 cents per point, no matter when you redeem, because if the cash price is on sale, the points price is on sale, and vice versa. But let's say we have 0 Southwest points right now, but we want to see if maybe it makes more sense to purchase points. If we go to this buy points page and say that we need to purchase at least 8,000 points because you can't buy exactly 7,712 points, you're going to be spending $120 in order to buy 8,000 points. So this is where it looks like it wouldn't really make sense to purchase the points ever, because why spend $120 purchasing points when you could just buy the flight for $115? The only reason I think to buy the Southwest points is if you want to have a stash. And the only reason to have a stash is if you are the kind of person who needs a lot of backup options for your flights. Because if you're buying a lot of revenue flights and you have to cancel them, you get a travel credit that you could use for a future flight depending on the type of fare that you're booking with Southwest. Let's say that you're just booking the cheapest, want to get away fare. If you buy that on a credit card, you're going to get the refund as a travel credit to use with Southwest. It doesn't just go straight back to your credit card as a refund. But then if you have points and you cancel them, the points just go back into your Southwest account. And Southwest is really flexible with changing flights or canceling flights or everything like that. So if you would rather just have points that you can book flights speculatively and then cancel them if your plans don't work out, Southwest points are great for that. If you're the kind of person who doesn't speculatively book points and you're like, once we have flights, we're good to go, I don't think it would make too much sense to purchase points at this price if instead you can just buy the flights for cheaper, like in this example.
If you're in the market for a new card to earn more points or status, but you're not sure what card to get, we offer free credit card consultations at geobreezetravel.com/consultations. We will send you personalized recommendations based on your particular goals, budget, and lifestyle. And many of the links that we send out through the free consultation form and the GeoBreeze Travel website are actually referral links from our students in the Points Accelerator program rather than our own affiliate links. If you would like for us to send out your links so that you can earn more referral points too, join the Points Accelerator waitlist at geobreezetravel.com/waitlist to be one of the first ones to hear about when we open back up for enrollment. Sometimes sales and bonuses are targeted and not everyone gets the same bonus. Like for this next example, let me know in the comments what kind of bonus your account is showing.
This next example is for Aeroplan points, which are currently on sale through October 10. The sales page says you can get a bonus of up to 75% when you buy Aeroplan points, but when I clicked through, it actually gives a bonus of up to 85%. I don't know if that's targeted. Let me know in the comments what your bonus is showing as when you click through the Buy Air Canada Miles page. Hopefully you get something that's 85% as well. But let's go through an example of when this would make sense. So let's say that you are based in Los Angeles and you want to fly over to Manila. Let's just search one way, one adult. For now, checkbox book with Aeroplan points when you go to aircanada.com. And let's say that you really want to fly on August 21st. Type in all those search parameters and then click search. If we search by business class lowest and we exclude mixed cabin, we're going to see a lot of the flights are sold out for business class. Manila is one of the most common requested destinations we get because I'm Filipina, but it's pretty hard to get there. Like this flight option involves 3 different stops and is 300,000 points. A lot of them are looking like that is the case, which let's just say that's a terrible deal. Let's look at the next day after that. Nothing on August 22nd. But here on August 23rd, we do see there are some options from Los Angeles through Taipei over into Manila with EVA Air. I love EVA Air business class. It's fantastic. The only downside is they tend to just have 1 seat left per plane these days. But if that's okay with you and you're a solo traveler trying to get from Los Angeles over to Manila, this is a pretty good deal. Because let's say that you needed to buy 88,000 points from Aeroplan. When you go to the Buy Points page, if you buy 45,000 points and get 38,000 as a bonus, that'll get you 83,000 points, which is not quite enough for the 87.5 that we need. So we need to go up to the next one, where you can buy 50,000 points, get 42,500 points as a bonus, and then your total points is going to be 92,500. That's more than enough to book this business class flight from Los Angeles over to Manila with EVA Air, and it would cost 1,750 Canadian. Since most of us watching this channel are in the United States, that's about $1,300 US. Is that a good deal? What I would do is go to Google Flights and say, okay, if I'm trying to book this one way in business class from LAX over to Manila, and this date is for August 23, which isn't available, so I'm just going to sub in July 23 and hope that the prices are around the same. Usually they don't fluctuate too much unless there's a mistake fare or something like that. And this airline is going to be EVA Air. This flight is about $3,500 per person one way for this particular date that I chose. It doesn't look like it changes too much day by day. So let's just say that it would be about the same price a month later in August. It would be a much better deal to just buy the points that you need because this is going to cost you about $1,300 US to fly over to Manila this way, where you could buy 90-something thousand points for 1,750 Canadian, which is 1,300 US, and then use those points to book your flight over with Air Canada. That's going to be a much better deal than just paying $3,500 because now you basically got about half off of the deal that way. Because then you've basically gotten 50% off of the cash price if you just purchase the points instead of purchasing the cash price. And you can do this whether or not you have any transferable points, any special credit cards. If you don't have any of those and you're like, how can I still take advantage of points? The play is going to be to purchase points when they're on sale and then flip them into a good saver space deal like this.
Our last walkthrough covers how you can buy points with one program, but move it to a different airline program to save on taxes or fees, or even get a lower price redemption altogether. And if you are interested in leveling up your points and miles game and getting even more free trips and upgrades, we have a couple of options for you. The first one is the GeoBreeze Travel Patreon, which you can join starting at just $5 per month through patreon.com/GeoBreezeTravel. Every month, we prepare personalized, step-by-step tutorials for the routes that our members request. We also provide open forum group coaching, where you can ask any questions that you have about points, miles, and credit cards in general. And also, we talk through some of the tricks and tips that I don't really mention on social media. And if you're looking to get even more free travel with points and you are a business owner or individual who spends $100,000 per year on expenses or more, we typically save our clients somewhere between $30,000 and $60,000 in travel in the first 6 to 12 months of working with our one-on-one points portfolio management service. If that sounds like something that you would be interested in, book a free intro chat with us at geobreezetravel.com/intro call to learn more. Okay, here is how to take advantage of the current point sale with Finnair.
The sale with Finnair, if you buy points between September 14th and 18th, and you're getting at least 50,000 points, then you get a 50% bonus when you're buying Finnair Avios. And this can be a really good deal. However, the deals are a little bit tricky to find with Finnair's own website because they don't have a nice award calendar or anything. So I like to use seats.aero, and they don't support any of the Avios programs, but I do just regularly search on American Airlines because they're in the same alliance, and then I try from there. So let's say that we wanted to fly to actual Helsinki. I would just search seats.aero for American Airlines to show flights from North America over to Europe, and I would type Helsinki in the search bar. It looks like there's options from Chicago, LAX, JFK, Dallas, and a few other places. So let's try Dallas for next July 10. On the Finnair website, you're going to click on award flight from one way from Dallas over to Helsinki for one person in business class on July 10, then click search. I also recommend checking this box that says dates are flexible plus or minus 3 days. Then we'll see that there is availability on July 10 for 62.5 thousand Avios. And here we see on Finnair's own website, 62.5 thousand Avios plus $143 in taxes and fees. And if we wanted to buy at least that many points, I would recommend just buying 50,000 Avios and getting 25,000 as a bonus. That'll cost $1,100 because that's the minimum you would need to buy in order to get the 50% bonus. However, because if you buy the level below that, that's going to be 49,000 Avios plus 14,700 bonus, which is not quite enough. So you'll have a few extra Avios left over into your account that way. And all of this will cost $1,100 in order to fly this business class flight from Dallas over to Helsinki. If we search for that same flight on Google Flights from Dallas to Helsinki on July 10 with Finnair, it looks like that flight's cash price is about $5,000. So you are getting a pretty substantial discount if you are spending €1,100 to buy the points and then use those points to book this ticket from Dallas over to Helsinki rather than just paying for the flight with $5,000. It's also worth noting that you can transfer Avios between a few different programs. So if you're buying Finnair Avios, you can transfer them over to British Airways and book the same flight that way. But British Airways tends to charge pretty high fees. Even though this flight does not route through London, they're still charging $1,000 in taxes and fees for the exact same flight on the British Airways website. 62,500 Avios plus $1,047.30 in taxes. But on the Finnair website, you can save yourself about $900 in taxes and fees this way by booking with Finnair rather than British Airways. Same if you ever see a transfer bonus over to British Airways or British Airways Avios on sale. It's a good idea to check the same flight with lots of different Avios programs because you might be able to just transfer your points over from one program to the next and save yourself a few $100s in taxes and fees that way. And you can easily link up your Finnair and British Airways accounts just by Googling link British Airways and Finnair, and then you can convert your Avios and log in this way.
I hope you found those tutorials useful. Suggestions for future topics are always welcome. In the meantime, if you enjoyed these tutorials, I think you'll enjoy this video next.